No, I know. I am the one who said I am not a big fan of scrappy yarns. I am. But then I decided to give it a chance. So I completed this WIP. And I do not, of course, I do not know how I feel about it, but I'm so grateful I have completed this. The sign of an educated mind is the one that considers different ideas and makes their own decision. I'm sure I quoted it wrongly, but the essence of the opinion is that. Also, if I look like I'm about to be swallowed in by pillows, this was my kid sister's ideas, and I decided I will not change anything. I decided, okay, we will go with the flow. So I woke up with a craving to try out a different idea, and this is where we at. I want to do projects with the 2 colors. I started out with this one and I really love it. It's giving coffee, dark brown coffee, and cappuccino. Dark brown coffee on latte. I really love this, and I'm using a single crochet. So now that I'm a little bit sold on this idea, I want to try out different colors, say different types of green, different types of white, different types of yellow. I don't know how far I'll go, but I didn't want to waste an opportunity. I was about to complete this and I realized, hey, this could be a nice crochet project. Do you remember when you started crocheting and you were missing out on stitches? My first big project was a skirt. I cannot tell you how much I miss stitches. And if you look closely, it looks like I'm missing stitches somewhere. But then there's also the likelihood that the brown yarn is more dense than the dark brown yarn is more dense than the light brown, and that's why there's some sort of difference. Wouldn't that be annoying if I'm missing all stitches? Okay, let us figure this out. Today we're working on the 2 colored beanies. Let us see how far I'll reach, and then in the same heartbeat I'll be watching Blind Spot series. Yes, I've watched it before, but I'm thinking, I don't know when I watched it, so I can't even remember. I remember the general idea that Jane Doe was found in CBD inside a bag, but the details of the series just elapsed my mind. So that is what we are going, you and I. That is what we are currently watching as we work on this. We are done with the first bean. But if you knew the trials and tribulations that I've gone through to get this girl finished. Hey, you know, when I came up with this idea, I thought I would be doing single crochets throughout the projects. But what I've gone through to complete this, I don't think I'm ready. So I picked these 2 colors and I'm like, am I ready? Am I ready? I think I figured out what we will do. While I was minding my own business and scrolling through social media like adults do, I saw a certain stitch being recommended to a certain poster, and that is what I'm working on. It's single stitch crochet. I'm using a 4.5mm hooks, and I think that is what has made the project atrocious that I couldn't go on with it. So this is what I'm currently doing. It's called a linked double crochet on camera. So this is one of the sides, this is one of the sides. I learned the stitch online, then I tried improvising by trying to make it a rib. So if you look closely, you'll see that there's some sort of an alternative between a ribbed pattern and an unribbed pattern. What I love about this stitch is that it is not a see-through. I'm actually thinking I can finish some of my projects with this stitch. But is it? I don't know. The stitch is not solely growing on me. First impression, I like it because it's not a see-through, but I don't find the stitch being exactly pretty. You know, as pretty as this. and I want to, there's so many things I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of doing a bodycon dress. I want to make a bodycon dress. I want to make the two set hoodie trouser I told you in the other video. So there's so many things that I want to work on, and I'm trying to determine whether or not this is a suitable stitch to use. As I was scrolling TikTok specifically, and I saw this stitch being recommended as a stitch that is non-transparent, and now that I'm looking at how the project is coming along, it feels like there's so many things that, okay, we already know that there's so many things in the crochet world that I don't know, but it feels like there's even more things. For example, I saw there's a stitch called a waffle stitch, another one called Suzette, I think. I have made it a mission while doing this double combination, seeing which one works, which one doesn't work. You'll also be doing different stitches so that you're killing two birds with one stone. Sounds like a good idea. It made sense in my head. I'm curious to know, what are you working on? Are you crocheting something? Are you looking at me? Are you learning anything from me? I'm also curious to know what's the weather like in your place. Lately, there's been a heavy downpour that is making these crochet activities and watching movies or series even more cozy as we prepare for the festive season. Sometimes I'm debating, am I crocheting peke yake, or do I want to read a book? Do I want to catch up with a horror movie? I'm currently watching the TV series Blind Spot. I had seen it before, like I had told you, but I think it was eons ago because I can't remember. There's so many things I can't remember. So right now I'm in episode 12, where Jendo has zipped his biological brother Roman, and they're trying to get information from him about sandstone. And you should see there I'm sitting at the edge of my seat trying to know, is it going to be a Jendo story all over again? Is he going to recover his memories fast enough? Yeah, I'm going to show you how this color pairs with the lighter gray as we go on. Oh, I love the progress. It doesn't take in as much time and effort as the single stitch crochet has taken. I'm also loving the learning experience. Catch up with you in a few. If there's one thing crochet will do to you, it will humble you. So this is the beanie we were making. When you compare its size, it's almost the same size with the single crochet. In my head, I did this because one of the mistakes that I realized that I was doing with former beanies was that I used to make them something like this, but then I never put it into consideration its stretch. So you see, like this one, it can take a huge stretch. So after you wash, when you wash it, after a while it becomes loose, something that I didn't want. I want my clients, or whoever is going to use this, to have a longer use for this beanie. So I did the same with this, but look at its stretch. This is the maximum it's stretching. This is the maximum it's stretching. And I don't know what to do. If there's one thing I know about my crocheting, is that I know better than trying to frog a project that I've done, because I weave in the ends so neatly. I can never see where my ends are at. And when I do, I find myself having cut the wrong end. So now I have one of two options, because this one can clearly not fit an adult head, and I do not have children or like a target market for children to wear this. I don't know. I either leave it like that, because now I also don't have more of this color, the lighter gray. I don't know, I'm debating whether to leave it like that or to unravel it and add more rows, and then when I add more rows I put it here, or instead of, because I also don't know the game plan, sometimes I make a lot of inventory, and for example right now we are going to the Christmas season, so I can choose to gift this one, I can choose to put it on the business inventory and someone will buy it. And to be honest, I'm not yet marketing. I get a direct order from a client, I'm not actively selling my crochet products, and I'm feeling so disheartened because it took a lot of discipline for me to say I'm going to complete this project, as the stitch is growing on me. I don't know if it is growing or has grown. So now there are so many times that I was tempted to just leave the project as is so that I can make a scarf out with the same stitch, because I remember there's an auntie of mine who wanted a scarf, and I made the scarf but not using this stitch, so now I want to use this stitch and see if I can give her. If there's anything you know about crochet projects, is that it is always exciting to start a new project. It takes a certain discipline for you to commit to completing. I think for the sake of this video, I'll leave it as is, so that I don't make the crocheting process punishing. So far I like these combinations. If you notice, I started with the brown, so the light brown and the dark brown works for me. I love it so hard, I want to cry. Okay, the gray, I'm beginning to see, I love it. First of all, let me just start by saying I love it, but I see a problem with it. I've realized that I like when the contrast is a little bit more. So what does that mean? Does that mean I should give pink and black a try? Should I give, we're going to the Christmas season, should I give white and red a try? Should I give, I saw someone do white and pink. Me choosing to pair white with any color, with any type of yarn, am I being safe or am I being intentional? Questions to ask, so many questions to answer, but these two I like so far. Which one is your favorite? Tell me this is not cute. Tell me this is not pretty. Also, people are doing vlogmas. I've seen people putting out the intention of doing vlogmas throughout Christmas. So I'm debating, do I also take part on the vlogmas sprees? And for me, I feel like if I make that decision, it's pretty much insane, because for me, I'm not a fast crocheter. Let me just start with that. I'm not a fast crocheter, so saying that I will crochet every day will be insane. I feel like if I push myself to that corner, I will find myself doing things that I saw some people do. I saw someone post something like this on TikTok. Actually, they said that a crochet is a first time crochet, and they put something like this. This is a yarn I just cut, but then they took a photo of this and said spaghetti, and then you do like chains and say, and then you tie a knot and we say bow. So I feel like if I put myself in a one-day challenge, I'll start doing shit things. I'll just do tiny projects. I won't push my creativity, and I don't know. But the second thing I find myself feeling a little bit conflicted about is the consistency of posting, especially if you have been in my channel long enough. You'll realize that I am an artist. Whether that means singing, whether that means fiber artist, whether that means drawing, or even cooking, throwing down a good meal. I'm an artist to that extent. I'm a creative mind, I'm a creative soul, and I'm finding so much joy in doing that. So another thing that I found myself conflicting over is if I decided to participate on Vlogmas, what am I doing? Am I concentrating on crochet alone, or am I doing song covers alone? And none of this production is easy, but I guess that's the whole point of Vlogmas, to push your boundaries, to push your creativity and see what you achieve. Oh, I'm not a big fan of this season of my life. I am not a big fan. But I'll say something that my sister says: I will not try to figure out my entire life in this moment. I will do my best to just live one day at a time. So let me figure out what the third project is. And everything in me wants to take a white yarn and play it something else. But then now that I've said it out loud, I feel like pairing white with any other yarn is a definitely yes. So I don't think that is the kind of boundary pushing that we want. So anyway, let me just figure that out. Let me see what I will end up deciding, and I will show you. I will show you, of course. So let us do this. So I decided to do a green, and as you can see, it's a green that is depleted. Remember when I told you about the waffle stitch? I thought it was going to be something that will be a little bit complicated to learn, but then as I was crocheting, I just got excited, and it literally took me about an hour or two to complete this. That's why I didn't get around to filming it. But I really love the details. And I'm so glad that I put myself in this journey of doing dual tones with a twist. So far we've learned how to make a waffle stitch, and the green on green looks like that. We've learned how to make a linked double crochet. So far I think this is my favorite, especially when I think about making scarves. I think this will be my go-to. I'm debating if this stitch will be good with a skirt or a top, because when God gives me the grace, I'm willing myself to do two big projects: a polo neck dress, and I'm not sure which stitch to use. I've always found the single stitch crochet my favorite, so I thought I was going to do either a trench coat with a single stitch or the polo dress. But then a part of me feels like you really have to be hating yourself to decide to make a full-on dress, head to toe, using this stitch. And you know, this one I used a 4.5. Currently all these projects I'm using a 4.5. Yeah, a 4.5. And I saw someone doing these stitches with a 4, especially the trench coat, and I thought, I don't know how I feel. I love these colors. I love that I indulged in this project. So currently, I thought I was going to finish with this. To be honest, I was going to close with this. But then, as usual, as I was scrolling through social media, I saw another stitch that was taught. You know, these stitches that are taught in under a minute, and you're thinking, am I the one who's a quick learner, or am I bullshitting myself? Do I honestly know? I took the red needle because it is the season, and I decided, let me try whatever I think I saw on that TikTok video. Lo and behold, don't ask me what this stitch is, I do not know. I feel like the red washes it out, so the red is not captured well on camera, so let me try putting the white so that you can see. If you know what the stitch is, kindly put it on the comment section so that we learn together. But this is it. And then right now I feel conflicted. When I was working on this project, I liked the pattern. I still love the pattern, but then it is a pattern that uses a double crochet and a single stitch crochet. Yeah, so this currently is a single stitch crochet. I feel like doing 2 rows of single stitch and then continue with this pattern, because I feel like this double stitch looks so good. So imagine it alternated with a single stitch, then continue with this pattern. All of a sudden, when I compare the double stitch with this pattern. This one feels holy. It feels like it's giving a lot of holes. One thing I've learned about this project, something that I will be mindful, something that you should be mindful when you consider doing dual tones, is that ensure you do yarns that are of the same weight. What do I mean by that? Currently, all these projects I'm using one single brand. It's not like I've used different brands. No, I have used the same company, the same weight of yarn. But I've realized, like this thread when you crochet or when you knit, you realize it's a little bit weak. It is almost as weak as this light gray. But when it comes to this white and this brown, this white and this brown, they're very sturdy, they're very strong. Then something about this brown, this dark gray, this green, they just they're not as light as this one or this one, but they're light. So they're strong. So I'm not sure if the brands have somehow managed to make very quote unquote quality durable colors for the staples, like the whites, the browns, the blacks, because even the black is very sturdy when I've worked other projects with it. But then the ones that are not so mainstream, like these ones, it's a little bit weak. So when you do, for example, when you make a project such as this, you know the intention is to wear, you will find that the red has more stretch, an easy stretch, than the white one. So I feel like if I did the project with just the white, over time it will have been more durable. But with this red yarn, over time it's going to lose shape easily. So I do not know if I should leave the project there so that as it continues wearing out, it remains, or I should just, I don't know. But I don't like the different textures. I don't like the way you're using the same brands and you're getting different textures. Even you can feel it in your hand and you can see it in the stretch. That is one thing that I've noticed. And you know the problem with having different stretches, like the one I experienced with this, is that this one will seem like it's longer. As I was working on this one, I even had to frog it about 2 or 3 times. As I was working on this one, I thought I was missing stitches because it had started getting an inclination in a way that felt like I was missing stitches. So I had to recount, see if my tension was different. But when you compare it, when you compare the dark brown and the light brown, you'll see that my tension is, it's okay, it's perfect, it is just equal. Which of these projects is currently your favorite? I'll come and show you the final look when I'm done with the red one. But so far, which is your favorite look? Is it the brown? Is it the green? Is it the gray? And what is grabbing your attention? Is it the colors? Is it the stitches that I've used? What is it? Let us engage in the comment section. Let me also know what you're working on. This project has gotten me so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I did this. Let me finish this project, then we can complete the video. One thing I'm willing myself is, I'm trying to stay disciplined, is if you look at a project such as this, it already has complicated stitches. It has the single stitch that goes twice, it has the double crochet, it has the front post, that is combined with a half double crochet. Yeah, so imagine if I started saying I'll alternate it with the double crochet, a row of double crochet, then another row of single crochet. It feels like it's going to look like it's too much, too busy. The other thing that I've learned with the projects that I'm making is, while it is fun and exciting to learn about the stitches, I don't think some of these stitches are practical for every project. For example, me being me, if I ever have the time, the grace, the knowledge, I will try using all the stitches, any of the stitches for different projects, say the clothes. But if I were to make the pole neck sweater dress, is it called a sweater dress? A pole neck sweater dress. I feel like this pattern, make it on the longitudinal instead of vertical. I feel like it's going to look so monotonous. The only advantage it will give me is that it's not a see-through. So I'm considering doing it on a trouser. And if I do it on a trouser, am I doing the vertical lines or am I doing the horizontal? So a part of me feels like this will look so fire on a scarf, but will it look as good on a full-on dress? Probably not. That's what I'm thinking. But sometimes you cannot know things until you try them out. I feel like if you use this stitch on a top, it's going to be hot, it's going to be overly hot. I'm thinking it should be used in a skirt. Can you imagine this with like ruffles? I think it's going to look so slim. But let me know what your opinion is. All is well that ends well. Here we have the final look. The pattern of this beanie is not captured well on camera, but I hope it's something that you can appreciate. I personally love it. I don't like the way the lighting is washed out by the red, but it's a very beautiful pattern. I know on camera it looks a little bit holy, but it's a good color, it's a good project. This has been such an exciting project, such an exciting video. I have learned so much in terms of new pattern, in terms of new design. Then we also have inventory. Just look at that. I'm so happy. I'm proud of myself. Trying to see if there's a way I can hold them. So this is what we worked on. Different colors, different patterns, single stitch crochet, linked double crochet, the waffle stitch. I have got no idea what this stitch is, but it's a combination of single stitch crochet, double crochet front post, and half double crochet. Totally love it. If you want a tutorial for any of these projects, by there you can let me know. I think it's something that we can work on, and I can do 5 to 10 minutes tutorial just showing the stitches, not the entire project. I think it's something that I can do, just beginner friendly. If you've reached up till here, this part of the video, thank you so much for joining me in the journey. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've enjoyed. Do have yourself a blessed day, blessed evening. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy this Christmas season, and a happy new year. I hope it's socially acceptable to finally say this. Merry Christmas and a happy new year. Bye.